in Bordeaux. All right, so this brings back memories when I did my first vendage, my first vintage in Bordeaux back in 2003. I remember it was a scorching vintage, all right, and I was working in some petit chateaux in Fronsac and Saint-Émilion, all right, owned by the Jeannex family. I was working with Jean-Philippe Jeannex, so a very young and upcoming winemaker, all right, who is proactive in of course, challenging the wines. He was one of the first of the few to plant, to have really dense plantings within a hectare of wine. And of course, I remember those times it was long hours. I'm sure most of us, I mean, especially those new to the industry, you will always have, misconceptions of, oh, so nice working in the vineyard, you know, seeing, you know, the rolling hills, all right, of the area, and of course, images of fancy chateaus, all right, and luxury cellars, but it's hard work, all right. I was there for 1.5 months to 2 months. I lost like 8 kilos to 10 kilos, right? It was pure hard labor. We were washing 100 barrels per day by hand, all right? And of course, we start our day in 5 a.m. and we finish the day at 12 a.m. midnight, all right? And it continues for 1 month or 1.5 months, all right? So it was a really eye-opening and a good experience for me, all right? And one of the things that I remember about that vintage was the sorting table, all right, where the harvesters come in with the freshly picked grapes and they pour the grapes in this table de tri, as they call it in French, the sorting table. All right, and there were like 5 ladies opposite me, and I was on the other side, 5 men, and we were picking stuff, all right, as the grapes were rolling on the conveyor belt. All right, so we see a lot of things other than grapes. All right, what the people in the trade call, or technical people call MOG, material other than grapes. Right, so you see a lot of escargots, the occasional spider, all right, the clippings from the trading of wines, plastic clips, etc., and the sorts, all right, caterpillars, and of course those are things that we ought to pick up, and of course throw it at the side. And of course we were told by, of course, the winemaker or the vigneron to look for uneven ripeness of berries, right? If you see berries that are rotten, all right, berries that are still not really ripe, still green in color, and you're supposed to sort it out. All right, so it was quite a labor-intensive, back-breaking exercise. We were standing there for many hours. All right, but of course, fast forward today, all right, once again to reflect on what's happening and what's, pushing innovation in terms in Bordeaux. Of course, after that, there were some chateaus using what we call a system, or an aqueous solution, like how cider makers used to sort good and bad apples. So there's a liquid solution, all right, that they put the grapes through, all right. So riper grapes have heavy density and they will sink, and of course, not ripe grapes, right, because their phenolic ripeness is not fully achieved, and they have less sugar and they tend to float, all right. So there you go, all right. No need to stand for many hours and sort grapes anymore to a certain extent, all right. And there are some that are using what we call image scanning technology, all right. So they could scan the grapes on board, and they can see right away which are the ones that are perfectly round and ripe, which are not ripe. Just usually you can tell by smaller berry sizes, and there are blowers along the way that blows all these less than ideal phenolically ripe grapes out of the whole bunch that is going for crushing and fermentation. All right, so these are interesting little observations that I've made, and of course, a younger and better educated generation of winemakers. Right, I was also the pleasure of meeting a lot of young owners who have taken over the reins of their father or of their relatives. All right, so very innovative, very energetic owners. All right, so they're always very proactive, looking for the most current innovation to use, right, and how to better improve the health of the vineyards, and of course how to improve the quality of their wines in general. Right, most of them are taking up knowledgeable courses, professionally spending time understanding not only the philosophy or the history of the vineyard, which is important, of course, as part of terroir, but more importantly, understanding what is really happening within the grape and in the vineyard, right, and how they could better handle and harness and control these situations or these aspects that perhaps many years ago was uncontrollable, so to speak, all right? Managing the uncontrollable, so to say, and today they could, and of course, this all drives them back to achieving greater quality heights in general. And of course, once again, very important, the influence of wine consultants. I'm sure we have heard names like Michel Rolland, Denis Dubourdieu, the Renaud Court, right? So these are all illustrious wine consultants that has also been molding and shaping the style of Bordeaux wines for the past 5, 10, 15 years, and has been understanding on how to handle certain appellations within Bordeaux itself, on the left bank, on the right bank, micro-oxygenation, depending on vintages, etc. And once again, all right, to make a riper, a fuller, more structured wine in general. And of course, most importantly, as highlighted by one of our participants earlier, a higher respect for the environment in terms of physiology, in terms of health, in terms of organic and biodynamic winemaking adherence, or at least a movement towards that direction in general. All right, so that was